So the fate of GMA3 hosts Amy Robach and T.J. Holmes is unknown since being pulled from the air last month. People magazine, though, is reporting that ABC is still struggling to figure out what to do with them. Some executives reportedly want them out, but the problem is there aren't enough grounds for them to be fired. Meantime, some tabloids are reporting that T.J. had affairs with multiple women at the network, including a 24-year-old producer back in 2015. This is the story that won't end.
I'm kind of tired of it.
You're tired of it. But what do you think will happen?
Juicy.
I actually, before I had a discussion with these guys, I thought Amy would be saved and TJ will be fired because he's done some things with a subordinate. And we know that's against a moral clause at ABC or for many corporations. After talking to these guys and you, I think they're both gone.
I think they gotta be. I think they gotta be.
Distracting.
And Erica
right?
has a good take on this too. She thinks Amy will come back and TJ won't. But in my conflict with that is optically, how does that look? Even though there might be more grounds for TJ because of these alleged allegations.
Right.
But optically, I don't know if ABC wants to deal with that. I understand they invested a lot of money in both of them. Yeah. I think where we are in 2023, you got to let them both go.
But you know what we're missing? The culture there. We have the privilege of looking out, or from being without, looking in, and we all have an opinion. We know what it's like working in a toxic work culture for a variety of different reasons. Not here, but we know that one bad apple can spoil the barrel.
No.
That's it. No, that's good.
No, how would you spoil the barrel? You just spoil the bunch.
The bunch. The bunch.
The bushel.
The one bad apple will spoil the bushel.
The bushel.
The bushel?
It's the bushel.
It's
Thank
the
you.
bunch.
No, it's the bushel. So my point is, if this is creating a toxic work environment for a number of different reasons, ABC should have, in my opinion, the grounds, I don't know all the details, to say, listen, we have 300 very unhappy people. We need to get rid of these two people because the two bad apples are spoiling the bushel.
I don't know if it's toxic necessarily.
I'm not saying it is.
But I think distraction is a better word.
But we don't know.
Right.
We don't know. It could be toxic. I don't know what that environment is like.
Yeah, it's happening over there. They're discussing the bushel debates over there.
But yeah, I look at this and I think ABC's really worried about setting a precedent. Because once you say that this is okay, that you can have this, it's going to trickle down. Well, like now can two people on the maintenance staff date? And it's like just stuff you don't want to do. Just like they're going to have to go.
Got it. Okay. All right, the Razzies.
Wow, what was that?
No, it's very,
what?
very dismissive.
What was dismissive?
It's a little bit Jeff felt it. A little cold breeze over
Oh,
here.
man.
I had to stick up for my boy. It was a little, it was a little dismissive. You dissed him a little bit.
Home team. You disrespect him a little bit.
Yeah.
Transition.
Trying to get to the next story.
Right.
The Razzie Awards I love you, Al, are apologizing for nominating a 12-year-old girl for Worst Actress. Some people online, including former child stars, put the Razzies on blast after Ryan Kira Armstrong was nominated for her performance in Firestarter. Things got heated on the show yesterday with Al and Erica over the nomination. Take a look.
This was a decision that grown but people sat around and decided, hey, we are going to ostracize this child on top of all these other grown but people who are in this nomination.
If a 7-year-old has an incredible performance, we would give them an Oscar. We would all celebrate it. But an Oscar doesn't mean anything if there isn't a good and a bad. If everything's just all positive, then hey, let's have that party.
I'm disappointed.
We'll just pretend like it was bad.
I'm disappointed.
Well, the Razzies are now on Erica's side. Yep, yesterday the group tweeted, in light of the feedback, the Razzie Awards will not be including Ryan Kira Armstrong on the final voting ballot. And going forward, it won't nominate anyone under the age of 18. Three-time Razzie nominee Macaulay Culkin tweeted back, I guess it was much easier to make fun of kids back in 1995.
I have to be honest with you. I kind of I don't want to take this to such a serious place, but he's right. And we've seen what happened to kid actors back in 95, right? Like the Corey Haim, the Corey Feldmans, Macaulay Culkin, they destroyed themselves. And we didn't care. And we kind of let them do whatever they want, no matter how much they protested. So, I'm glad, maybe you think it's too woke, but I'm glad we don't put 12-year-olds up for, worst performance on a national stage. That's unnecessary.
I think that's two totally separate situations. When we talk about what happened to all of those child actors, I mean, that was a situation of child exploitation and children not being taken tended to and being having predators descend upon them. In this situation, this is a goofy award that was given. That has
to a 12-year-old girl. It's not goofy.
So it was fine when you destroy a 22-year-old actress?
Yeah.
There's a big difference between being 22 and 12.
Tell Chase Bank that. She's picking up that bag.
Okay.
She's getting that money. You cannot have it both ways.
You think a 12-year-old cares about picking up that bag
Absolutely.
as opposed to her peers?
What do you think she's doing this for, the love of the game?
Probably.
Yes.
She probably likes
playing
acting.
minor league baseball?
I know your heart is made out of stone, but some people like the craft.
Okay, yeah, let's check her account and see how much love is in there. I guarantee you it's a lot. She's an actress. She is a
You don't think she cried over this?
successful
You don't think
actor.
she
totally cried.
She definitely cried over this.
I think performers cry all the time, good and bad. Wow. Have you been to an audition?
Wow.
Listen.
Have you been in the dressing room with Tori?
Yeah, exactly. Are you? No. So you can up until what? 17? You're
18. They said they made a rule.
Okay, so they turn 18. It's fair game.
Yes.
I think that's a
You're an
terrible
adult.
policy.
Well, you're a terrible person.
What, like a badge of honor, though? Tom Hanks got one. I got one. You need to kind of use it, roll with the punches. She's got 12 other credits on IMDb. She's going to be fine.
I think the title Worst Actress for a 12-year-old
Worst performance
is put on the world stage. She gets enough consequences and enough failures by just going to auditions every day in Hollywood. We all know what that's like.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well,
you haven't gets to roll through life.
That.
Well, the only two 12-year-old girls that have been 12-year-old girls are these two, and we would have been really emotionally affected.
Were you guys movie stars at 12?
I was. I was too.
Sam was in 35 and ticking. Shout out.
I was like 30 and 35 and ticking.
You didn't look a day over 21.
Thank you very much. Okay. So, Paris Fashion Week is bringing out all the stars. A-listers like Kerry Washington, Anne Hathaway, and David Beckham have been spotted at the shows. There were also some head-turning moments on the runway. Check this out, okay? Upside-down gown and other dresses that looked like the models were wearing mannequins. Yep, okay, let's take it in. There it is.
Real cool.
Some critics said the concept was genius. Others just felt sorry for the models. Speaking of which, supermodel Kristen McMenemy struggled to walk in these heels. She got so frustrated, she took them off and walked barefoot the rest of the way. Now, just to be clear, though, you guys, Kristen is 58. She's been modeling since the 80s.
So we shouldn't laugh if they're 12 or 58?
No, this is not her first runway show, is what I'm saying.
Al, wasn't it the girl's first movie?
Listen, that's funny. You got to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
You got to laugh at yourself.
Would you laugh if she was 12 doing this?
No. Why is a 12-year-old? No, that sucks for a 12-year-old.
So 58 is fine.
Yes, you gotta understand, 12-year-old girls are like some of the most vulnerable creatures on earth because of what they're going through. And when you have a whole people go at you, she's 58, this is gonna suck, but she'll move through it.
What about 12-year-old boys playing in the Little League World Series?
What's wrong with
the whole world's looking at them when they lose. They're not going to be upset by losing?
Do you think that they're going to get nominated for worst pitcher in the world?
Thank you.
Somebody will be. It's a tournament.
Al.
Somebody's the worst team.
They're celebrated just for making it that far. I'm not
I
saying
celebrate her for being in a movie. I've never done that. Shout out to her. For real. That's great. She has to understand, though, that there's highs and lows.
Back to that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Back to that.
I mean, this is going to drag on for years. It's going to be a Cold War. I'm sticking to this one.
So let's say Elijah, who's close to that age, got a big gig, and then all of a sudden he finds out, even though he's very proud of himself and thought he did a great job, every single social media post, tabloid post is calling him the worst actor.
And there's an award.
Not every one. Not every.
Yeah, but it gets shared by People Magazine, Us Weekly.
So would you allow your kid to be in the next Black Panther if he got a Razzie?
Yeah.
Or would you keep him out of it?
Black Panther. Yeah.
Why don't you ask your kid?
Don't matter. Pay for college. Every episode would just be a panther shoved up on the screen. Get out there.